Hi guys. Well, I think one just got caught. Anyway, coming back to you to do a follow-up message on the keys. Just wanted to touch base with you all and let you know that I hadn't forgot about you in regarding the keys. I've been seeking the Lord regarding the keys, and He has given me a message that I've actually shared on Facebook, but I've not had the opportunity yet to go ahead and share with you all on YouTube. I was seeking the Lord regarding the keys and everything that boy, there's a lot of them tonight. Are you all seeing them? I went to the Lord regarding the keys and the message that He gave me just because I was so excited about it. I was like, okay, Lord, let's go. What are we going to learn about these keys? Let's do it. And I had in my mind, I actually had planned that I would share everything that I was learning and go ahead and submit, maybe my study notes and my journey, just like I did with finding out about the keys, just so that we could all go on this journey together. And it is my understanding through a message that the Lord gave me on December the 7th that really is not what He would like to see happen. And so I wanted to read that message to you all so that you could understand what I was trying to say regarding that. So if you give me just a minute, let me see if I can find the message, and I'll read it to you. Here it is. So when I went into prayer on December the 7th, I said, Lord, help give me some guidance and direction regarding the key. And He started His message to me after prayer, and He said, should you find the key, it cannot be given unto others. And, guys, I just kind of sat there for a moment because I was a little bit perplexed. I didn't really understand why I couldn't share it with others. And I sat quietly for a little bit of time, and He didn't say anything else either. I mean, that was what He was saying. And so I went back to Him and I just questioned again. I said, Lord, can you repeat what you just said? And He says to me, the key that is found cannot be given unto others, for it will sway their thinking and understanding, but not their hearts. And I said, okay, Father. And He says, they must seek me above all things, and not just the knowledge of me, the wisdom provided. He said, their hearts belong to me, and it is their hearts that I desire to hold. They must seek it out for themselves, to know and understand the mysteries of the kingdom. Do you understand this, my daughter? Well, I was perplexed in the very beginning, but then I kind of did understand a little bit. I was understanding now that this is a personal thing. This is a personal thing between us and the Lord. This is personal between how our walk is with the Lord. And before He hands something out to us, we need to be ready. We need to be ready here. We need to be ready in mature-wise. We need to be ready. And, I kind of started thinking too. I thought, I wouldn't hand the keys to a car over to my 5-year-old grandson. He's got to be old enough to understand the rules and the laws of the road. And he's got to know and understand what all the signs mean and the lights mean and the lanes and the one-way streets and all of that. He's got to know and have all of that knowledge before he even gets behind the wheel and turns the car on. He's got to know these things, or it's just a recipe for disaster. There is angels all over tonight. I'm thankful. Then that means that the message that I'm putting forth tonight is I pray it means that it was meant to be. But back to the car, nobody would give their keys to their child, to their grandchild, and say, go for it, take off. So I'm understanding what he's saying, and I'm understanding that it is a personal journey, and it is a hard thing with God. I mean, this whole walk has been a hard thing with the Lord. I mean, even back in late 2013, when he finally opened my ear, he made a call out to me to become a messenger, and I heeded the call, and he opened my ear. And it wasn't anything that I prayed and asked for. It wasn't, I didn't even know people still heard, from the Lord like that in this day and time. I mean, it was, and if it was, I thought it was just specific people. I thought it was just, like powerful people that walked in the Lord. Here I was just walking and learning. I mean, I'm a nobody. I'm a believer in God just like anybody else. But he wanted to use me as his mouthpiece, and he wanted to use me as his voice. And I said, okay. And I didn't know what I was doing when I first got called. I mean, I had no idea, and I was questioning myself every time I tried to hear him and understand what was going on. And then I was just making myself a nervous wreck because I was making sure I wasn't saying the wrong thing, But he's taken me a long ways from 2013 till today, and I've learned so much straight from his mouth. I've learned so much. And so with the keys, when he's saying, that's not what I want you to do. I don't want you to share that. That's something that, will be given to them when they're ready to handle it. And it will be an individual thing. There's probably those out there that already know the keys and have the keys that I don't yet. But prayerfully they're coming. Prayerfully they're coming, and prayerfully they're coming for you as well when you're ready and along that path. So guys, we're all on different levels, and but it doesn't mean that we're not where we're supposed to be. He is the author and the finisher of our faith, and we are exactly where we need to be. As long as we're willing and obedient, we are exactly where we need to be, because he will make sure that we get where we need to be at the appointed time. So I just wanted to kind of update you on that a little bit, simply because I had already shared it with folks on Facebook, and I do share a lot of my messages and words on Facebook, so I will leave the link to my Facebook page for anyone that is interested in, checking to see what the messages might be, what he's asking me to share, what he's given me to share. You can click on there and just check it out. You don't have to friend me, or you can if you'd like to. I'm kind of selective now. I'm really careful about who I am pulling up on the page, simply because there's a lot of folks that are out there to just either become a virus and try to duplicate your page and pretend to be somebody, or just simply to go out and to try to sow seeds of doubt into people's minds, or create hostility and negativity on a page. So I'm really, really careful, especially with my young believers that have been following. I'm trying to be real careful to protect them any way I possibly can. And and online is hard sometimes. You just don't know. So, but I while I was looking up something about the thing with the heart, I was going back to find a message that I know he gave me back in 2014, where it talks about keeping your heart clear and opening your heart, and I was not able to find it. But I tripped across something else that I think you might find very interesting, and actually I had forgotten all about it. You know, God has done so many miraculous things in my life. He has, I mean, if you've listened to any of the other videos, these are the one things that he asked me to share. He asked me to pull them out and talk about them and share what I was going through and share what he did in my life so that people could see that he is still alive and well and sitting on the throne, and that he is still active in our lives, and that he loves us so much. So, you know, in the videos that I already have so far put up on YouTube, the majority of them are that exactly. And I'm telling you, he never fails to just totally amaze me. Totally and completely amaze me. But I wanted to share something that actually, it's actually two things, but I think I'm just going to do one this time, and then we'll do another video and talk about the other one. When I was at work, probably, I guess it's been about 2 years. Let me see what the date is here, because I made a note of it. Oh, it was July 30th, 2014. And I was talking to the Lord about some visions that I was having. And I was trying to understand exactly what they meant. And these were visions of lit raindrops coming down from the sky. They were, and we'll get in and talk about that, because I've had that vision. Actually, I've had two different kinds of visions, both dealing with that. And I know what the Lord has told me, what he has explained to me as to what they are. And so we'll talk about those in a minute. But this day I was talking to him I was at work and I was on lunch, and I was just praying to him, talking to him. And he said to me, he said, daughter, go look out your window. Well, I work downtown Raleigh, so the building that I was in it's a taller building, and we were on the top floor. And so I went and looked out the window, and right outside my window was a green cloud. Now, when I say green, I don't mean like this color green. No, I mean like emerald green, like deep emerald green. And the cloud was, I hate to even, I'm terrible with sizes. The cloud looked to be about the size of maybe a quarter, maybe half of a football field size. I mean, so it wasn't like super, super big, but it was just up just a little bit higher than I was, and it was right outside my window. And it was green. And so I had come to the window at first, and I was looking around, and he's like, well, what do you see? And and I'm looking down, and I'm like, well, Lord, I see your creation. I see the trees. I see people walking around. I see cars because I'm downtown. I see this. I see that. I see the birds and the trees across the street. And then I looked over and I said, and I see a green cloud. And it got real quiet. He didn't say anything more to me about it. And I was just looking at it, and I'm like, Lord, what is this? And this is what he told me. I said, Lord, I'm looking at the cloud, and I'm still talking to him. And it hadn't dawned on me yet that this was a gift from the Lord for me. This was a gift for me, and it hadn't dawned on me yet. And so, I'm still talking to him, and I'm like, Lord, I just want to be closer to you. I mean, what what do I'm trying to remember my dreams, and, why can't I remember my dreams? Because, at that time I was just remembering little snippets of it. Well, the reason why I didn't know I couldn't remember my dreams, or the reason why I couldn't remember them, was because I was in training, and I was only allowed to remember certain, parts of it. And so I was like, Lord, I was so new. I was like, Lord, why can't I remember my dreams? And this is what he told me. He said, your spirit remembers. And I said, well, Lord, I just want you near. I just want something to hold on to. I just want to know something somehow. And he said, I gave you the clouds. He gave me the clouds. I said, yes, you did give me the clouds. You did. You did. He said, they were for you. And I said, it was finally dawning on me. It took me a minute. I said, yes, I know. And he said, well, how did I know your favorite color? Green is my favorite color. It has been my whole life. And it's actually my birthstone, too. And so I said, well, how did you know my favorite color was green? He said, because you told me. Now, I don't remember having this conversation with the Lord in my waking state. But it is apparent that I had this conversation with the Lord at some point. I said, well, how did you know my favorite color was green? And he said, because you told me. And I said, because I told you. Because now I'm, like, when did I tell you? Because now I'm like, I'm trying to rack my brain. Did I tell you? And I said, so we had a conversation? And he said, yes. That was given to you by a request. And I'm thinking, what in the world? And I said, from me? And he said, yes, and me. He said, I love you, dear child. Don't forget that. Guys, here I am clamoring, talking to him. His presence was right there. He manifested himself, or something happened to where I had a green cloud outside my window. And if I had thought, Diana, pick up your phone and take a picture. I have done this to myself many times. Why didn't I get that picture? The cloud did not stay very long. I got called to work, a phone or whatever, and I was not able to come back to do whatever. But there was a green cloud outside my window. And I just read to you the conversation that I made sure I noted down. Guys, he is... When we search so hard for him and so intently for him, we can go as high as we can possibly go, or we can go as deep into him as we can possibly get. He'll allow us to do either, as far as we want to go. And I was clamoring for him. I wanted him near me so badly. I didn't recognize what was right in front of my face. I knew then, after, hindsight's always 2020, but the discussion that I'm having with him, I'm understanding. We talk to each other at night. When we go to bed and we go to sleep physically, we are active somewhere else. And I know for some that might be new information. For others, you know very well you've been trained at night because we are on a journey and we have a purpose and we're being called up to get ready to complete that purpose. These raindrops of light, of energy that I want to talk to you all about in another video is all part of it. It's all part of it. And the little nuggets of information that he has been given along the way, a little here, a little there, a little there, a little there, some to me, some to you, some to that person, some to that person, to where we all come together and we put each of our pieces of the puzzle in place to where we can see what the full, more complete picture looks like. Our God is an awesome God. He is He's so merciful and kind, and there isn't a day that goes by that he is just not showing me how loving and kind he is, and how gracious and merciful he is, and how much he truly just wants to show off for you, just to excite your heart, just to tell you he loves you, just to be there to make you smile. Just, guys, if you're a believer, and if you're walking with the Lord, and maybe you don't have a close relationship with him, or maybe you're new in the faith and you're just learning how to have a close relationship with him. Guys, let me just tell you, he is so easy to get to know. Just be willing to get to know who he is. You don't have to have long drawn out prayers that say this and thou and thy and all of that. No. You don't have to have prayers that have a lot of, scripture thrown in just so that it sounds good. You know what you got to do? You just got to go with him and open your heart. You just have to say, God, here it is. Here's me. Here I am. The good, the bad, the ugly. Now, let's get started on fixing this. Let's get started on knowing who we are, who you are, who I am, who are we together, and why am I here? He's going to tell you. He's going to tell you what he told me first. Well, we got to get the building blocks in place. The foundation's got to get in place. The cornerstone's got to get in place. And information's got to be given to you, one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other, to build this house. Then you will be able to know who you are. Then you will know who you are in me. Then, and only then. Are these what the keys are? Is this what the key is? I don't know. But guys, I'm here to tell you, He loves you so much. Oh, if if there is only one thing that I could tell any of you, and really get it deep seated in here, if I could just get that one thing in here and in here to tell you, he would I come hell or high water, he would do whatever he had to do to make sure that you were protected and taken care of. That's who he is. We know the story of the shepherd where they leave the 99 and go get the one. That's how important the one is. Going to pull them in, pull them back, get them back into a place of safety. I'm almost at a loss for words sometimes when I talk about him. He is everything to me. He is everything. He is my all in all. And in him, I lack nothing. I want nothing. I desire nothing. I need nothing. He provides. Did y'all were watching that? Oh, the angels get so excited when we talk about him. They love him too. They love him too. So guys, I don't want to make this video go too long. I will try and do my next one to be about those lit raindrops and talk a little bit more about the calling that we may have on our lives, and what some of the plans are, and some of the things that we have heard already about the catching of waves and the different waves of that, and what purposes might be. I mean, there's a lot of different things that I have not shared on YouTube that Facebook folks that have been following me for a while already know. So I'll try and recap some of these things back. But I knew when I ran across that green cloud and what that meant, I needed to share that because that was the one thing that he tasked me with in the very beginning. So guys, I just want to say God bless you. And I pray a prayer over you that the Lord keep you and the Lord protect you and the Lord provide for you, and that you have nothing but peace in your life and love from him, guiding you and protecting you. Guys, he's an awesome God. If you don't know who he is, if you don't know who Jesus is, I ask that you just take a few moments and just close your eyes and say, God, I don't know all the answers. I'm coming to you. Please tell me. Please show me. If you've got any questions that you would like to ask, or if you need someone that you would like to talk to privately, just leave me a comment. You can find me on Facebook. You can do the messenger chat. You can get a hold of me and we can chit-chat via email, or we can talk on the phone. It doesn't matter to me, because again, if you have a need, I have the time, because the Lord has called us all to help each other and to encourage each other, to help lead each other and guide each other. So guys, I just want to say God bless you. I love you. Stay under his wing. Stay protected. Things are going to be getting bumpy soon. So anyway, thank you for watching my video. I'll talk to you soon.